Good day, folks. How are ya? My name is Dustin Cormier, and welcome to How to Rock Astrology. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about what it's like when you've got the Sun in Virgo with Mars in Scorpio. There's a few things we could say about this combination. At a purely Western point of view, there's a sextile going on here, which is interesting. I usually go by Vedic aspects, so sextile is a thing that I slightly consider, but Vedic astrology has its own system of aspects, and each planet has different aspects. But the sextile for me, like the earthiness of Virgo goes low to gravity in the same way that the Mars in Scorpio is low to gravity, is discerning in ways. The Sun, the Virgo energy does not exactly jive with Mars in general. So Scorpio can always be a bit of a tricky time for any Virgo Sun. Mars here is in the third house from the Sun. Third sign from Virgo, that is. So we can see that there's an aggressive pushiness that comes through Mars and Scorpio, here in particular, more than any other sign, more than any other combination. Sun in Virgo is not the best place for the Sun, actually. Mercury, as a planet, is neutral to the Sun, so it doesn't have bad dignity per se, unless Mercury is in Virgo with the Sun. But that's not a bad thing, because then Mercury is exalted. The placement of Mercury is going to show whether this Virgo Sun person has the capacity to rein in the mental equilibrium of play, of sensitivity to details, and is inspired to look into the details of things while also moving itself forward. If Mercury is in Virgo but not combust the Sun, you don't want to be combust the Sun, because that's going to agitate your mind, your Mercury, and that's going to mess everything up for you as a Virgo Sun, because Virgo Sun centers its singular point of focus through Mercury's capacities. So look to Mercury for whether you can really equalize the things that you put your Sun energy into. But even if your Mercury is not well placed, this Mars in Scorpio is at least going to give you a grip of your energy field, your volition, your muscular volition, your capacity to keep putting ambitious energy somewhere, so that, if you're a Virgo and you want to start building towards reliable skills, you'll have Mars in Scorpio here to help get a grip on your own mind's utility and focus and concentration, so that you can put deep, ambitious energy towards whatever skills, whatever field of expertise you want to apply yourself to. Mars in Scorpio will be very good at having the energy to apply all of that, even in an aggressive way. This adds a bit of aggression to the Sun in Virgo, which is not typically there, and this is very useful for both men and women Virgos. We're going to talk about that. Essentially, I will just say this now, just in general, because I've been saying this throughout all the Mars and Scorpio videos, that Mars and Scorpio, check out our Mars and Scorpio video if you want to learn the deep roots of how Mars and Scorpio operates. It's at the start of this series. The way Mars and Scorpio is that it uses its connections with people as a marker, a barometer, a experimental playing field through which it can enact what it understands to be its own psychological resistances. And it gets over its own psychological resistances through the interplay with other people. And it's the second best place for Mars, because it's in its own sign. Mars is doing what Mars does. It's comfortable in its own shoes, and it puts a value towards its own vehicle, towards detachedly using its experiences in the world. It doesn't take its failures critically or personally. It can. Mars and Capricorn is best for not taking failures and insults personally. Mars and Scorpio can, but they're not going to get wrapped up by it. They're just going to be like, oh, okay, I hear that. Now I'm going to win and you're going to hear about it. And I'm going to make sure you hear about it. That's the, the vindictiveness. But they don't, Mars and Scorpio doesn't let it rattle their precise singular focus. So there's a lot of good about Mars and Scorpio. And sexually speaking, Mars and Scorpio can help to rein in an aggressiveness which is often missing in Virgo women. I mean, you don't want to nag people too much or whatever, but Virgos are known to come off this way. Your Mars and Scorpio is going to probably make your nagging thing seem like you can be pushy, and you will push for agendas that you have rationally and logically apprehended as being important for whatever moment's going on, because Virgo's glory is hinged on its reliability, its duty, and its helpfulness. It's analysis. Virgo gets glory out of people coming to them for something, for an analysis, for a word, for their knowledge that they're constantly enjoying applying and reapplying and digesting. So Virgo seeks to be useful in this way, and Virgo women can lose their sense of their aggressive, powerful right arm and their ability to express and communicate what is important for them to communicate, and to willfully maneuver so that, they want to be reliable and on call for people, Virgo men and women. But by doing this, you might lose control of your own energy field. Because if you've dedicated yourself to being ready for when Bob's car if you're a mechanic, you've dedicated your some point in time to Bob's car whenever it's going to go. Bob calls you and says, hey, so this car is dead now. You need to help me come get it, and we need to put it in your shop, and we need to fix whatever's wrong right now. If you're going to dedicate yourself to that kind of thing, or Virgo, men and women, even for their partner, can say, I've got this appointment with Bob on Saturday, and I know that you need emotional securing right now, but I can't lose my job, and I'm useless to you in the long run if you pull me out of my skills and my reliable way of life. So the Mars and Scorpio here is manipulative, positively manipulative, can maneuver the situation so that they can either they'll call Bob and they'll say, okay, Bob, I'll be there. And then they'll tell the lover, honey, I love you, but I've dedicated myself to Bob in this thing. And it's the Mars and Scorpio who can say to their partner, I love you, but for my sake, my energy field, my organization, I've dedicated this day to this thing, and you will not push me out of it. That's a very powerful thing for the Virgo psyche, because they can so often flake in order to be intellectually useful to whoever they kind of promised and dedicated themselves to. So the Mars and Scorpio will bring that out. And for the men, too, it's a good thing. This can be a very powerful Virgo man who can push for their own needs in order to make them reliable. Because Mars is always doing what the sun wants. This Mars in Scorpio is securing capacities for the Virgo, making them true to their words. They really, not only can they be known for being reliable, because that's what the sun wants, a good sun with positive aspects and a good Mercury will make you useful and will give you things where you can actually help people. Mars in Scorpio makes sure you're reliable and loyal, and that you can move around things in your world, your schedule, your organized thing, in order to get through and push for whatever it is that your will is pushing to do. This is good for Virgo men and Virgo women. And even in the sack, this brings out a richness to the capacities of Virgo, who learns how to perfect the perfect blowjob, or how to lick a tit, or eat a girl out in the perfect way that Virgo loves to do, and to be reliable and familiar, to learn all the familiar ways of the person's body. The Virgo is good and reliable at that, and the Mars and Scorpio will make time. This is a dedicated part of my energy field, my releasing of the tension of my animal energy. That's why Mars and Scorpio is so sexual and sexy, is because they need it and they put it in the right orientation with the rest of their life. No matter what's going on, Mars and Scorpio tends to have some kind of engagement with sexual activity so that it makes the rest of their lives easier, and they will make time to learn to not only to be reliable, but also okay, so you're busy Tuesday, so what about Wednesday morning? At some point we're going to get something going on. So that was my sort of rendition of the heights, the good and bad of this combination. It's mostly a good combination, I'd say. Let's take a look at the turn-ons and turn-offs specific to Sun in Virgo. This little reading comes from Erotic Astrology by Phyllis Vega. I'd like to talk a bit about just Sun in Virgo sexuality in bed. This is the juicy stuff now. Once we're done with the turn-ons and turn-offs of Virgo, then we're going to have a reading from the same book talking about Virgo Sun with Mars and Scorpio in bed. So this for now is the turn-ons and turn-offs of Virgo Sun. You appreciate a bed partner who occasionally takes the lead and comes up with ways of making your sex life more exciting. Virgo loves to be the server and to get some kind of familiar task way of exploring. They get a fixed set way of constantly advancing. It's I'll work up the leg like I always do, but this time I'm going to go instead of try this. It's I'm going to try this new way within this familiar thing that I always do. So Virgo is twisting on the top, but staying solid in the center of their method. And the Mars and Scorpio here is going to bring out more of this desire to get a perfect formula for it all. The Mars and Scorpio might even be a bit come hither. Depends on other things in the chart, whether you'll be a top or a bottom type thing, but you have the capacity to be both in this combination. The stomach area is very sensitive for Virgo. Circular motion and gentle massages with the fingertips or tongue on your stomach area and around your belly button are generally guaranteed turn-ons. A provocative striptease also intrigues you and can add a mood of delightful decadence to your lovemaking, whether it's you doing it for someone or whether it's someone doing it for you. The Mars and Scorpio will find an artful, constant practice at whatever these things are. Although the idea of trying new things, such as sex toys, may shock you at first, under the right circumstances, they add a playful, slightly naughty, kinky aspect to Virgo's bedroom activities. With encouragement, your own hidden desires morph into a tempestuously unfolding passion. And the Mars in Scorpio also has a way of knowing when this is a good dynamic, how to bring it out, how to just be coy. Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. And then just give someone the fuck me eyes, these are the kind of things that Scorpio can understand the psychology of how to bring out the best of these kinks. Something Mars and Scorpio is generally pretty good at. Inwardly, you may be shy and reserved, but a patient, thoughtful lover who draws out your controlled desires will be well rewarded. While bedroom drama doesn't appeal to you, sexy role-playing fantasy games can be a major turn-on, and the Mars in Scorpio has the skill and mental consciousness to have a clear mind to fully go through with whatever the role play is. You like variety, and you enjoy experimenting with different positions and techniques. After a grueling workday, an erotic massage with warm, naturally scented oils relaxes you and soothes your jangled nerves. Although you may need a little coaxing, your dormant passions ignite as you, the Virgo Sun, unwinds. Remember, this is just for Virgo Sun. A true romantic, Virgo enjoys courtship. You're turned on by poetry, music, and dreamy moments of intimacy with your beloved. During a weekend getaway with your lover, your appetite for sensual pleasure is likely to erupt with passionate abandon. And it's the Mars and Scorpio in you that is going to add a richness of a certain soul level of experience to this. Even an aggressive, it's like the Mars being in the third house from the sun. Mars and Scorpio is going to aggressively find new ways to get out the heights, the absolute heights of passion and expression between the both of you. Leaving behind your practical day-to-day routines and going off for a change of scene with your partner revitalizes your love life. Even an impromptu overnight stay in a romantic setting can relieve stress and make you feel totally reborn. Lovely. Gotta love Virgo. My girlfriend's a Virgo, and I'm Scorpio Sun with Mars and Scorpio. And I love you Virgos for so many things. And she actually has, this is actually my girlfriend's combination now that I think about it. She also has Sun in Virgo with Mars and Scorpio. I'll have to show her this video one day. So that was a reading of Sun in Virgo in particular. Now this is going to include, this next reading is Sun in Virgo with Mars in Scorpio, combining the fact that they're sextile, that they're earth and water, that they're ruled by Mercury and ruled by Mars. All of this is wrapped up in this reading. Same author, same book, Erotic Astrology by Phyllis Vega. So this is Sun in Virgo, Mars in Scorpio. This merger of solar Virgo's analytical intellect with the Martian Scorpion's powerful emotions produces a nature that is cool and reserved on the outside, with a passionate intensity smoldering beneath the surface. Your ability to analyze things before taking action makes you a methodical, creative, inventive, and innovative lover. You think of a game plan, and then you put it in motion in the bedroom with satisfying results. In fact, Virgo is likely this sort of daydreamer who goes throughout the day, and there's probably a constant sexual daydreaming mentality going through your mind, which is like, it's almost like a secret. Like Mars and Scorpio never lets go of the feeling of being constructive with their animal impulses and sexual energies. And you, with this Virgo mind, might just be this wandering consciousness that goes through the day and is constantly thinking about, what can I do to satisfy my lover in a way that was different from that moment last night where we were together and we did this one thing and we got to such a peak. How do I get more of that out there? What stopped that from staying there? What is it about my lover that I brought out this feeling in them? I need to figure that out. The Virgo constantly with Mars and Scorpio getting charged up and riled up and saying, oh, I can't wait to put this next game plan into practice. It's a delicious thing to have in a partner, because they're always just thinking about ways to sex you up. And it even livens them to be that person. It livens you to be that person for your partner. In creating the perfect setting for lovemaking, you, my Virgo Sun, Mars, and Scorpio friend, you pay scrupulous attention to the smallest details. You do everything possible to please your lover, but you expect similar treatment in return. And the Mars in Scorpio is very aware. The Virgo feels and sees a backdrop of calculated, the bureau that Virgo secretly keeps in their brain of all the gestures that you've made out to your partner and all the gestures and a similar sentiment that you've brought back from them. The Mars in Scorpio has the will to be diligent about its own energy field. And the Mars in Scorpio is thinking, am I wasting energy with this person? Is there something that I need to address here where I'm giving them all this energy and they're not giving it back to me? The Mars in Scorpio feels vindictive and passionate about its own energy field and not wasting it, not leaking it. If that's part of the game and you feel deeply that your partner is also doing that for you, then lost time, lost effort, lost seed. You do like 3 for your lover and they don't get you back for a while, but then they give you this thing where it completely renews you. As long as you're getting that back and forth, then the Mars in Scorpio in you has found a dedicated pillar through which to pour in your ambitious, volatile animal energy in a way that constantly has you spinning the wheel and getting in control and passionate excision of your energies and your passions. You've found that with that person. You've felt it out. The Virgo has seen the balance, and it's good. If you don't have that, then you're going to probably start applying ways to maneuver it. First subtly to get it out of your partner by suggestion, but then eventually probably letting them know that you are putting more in than you're getting out from them. And it might mean that you just don't show up one day. You didn't get it, sorry, click, see you later, which is not a thing that Virgos can often do. Virgos are so dedicated, and so is the Scorpio. Scorpio surrenders, but Scorpio surrenders fully to what it wants and ignores the rest. And once the Mars in Scorpio knows that this person is not part of my single focus on keeping myself at my best, ancient history. It's a good thing for a Virgo to be able to have. That kind of discrimination and instigation, So, it's a juicy combination. Hopefully my girlfriend, when she sees this, she's going to get some kind of sentiment out of it, and I'm going to be able to get some kind of sentiment back out of it. That's going to be a good time. So anyway, I'm Dustin Cormier, ladies and gentlemen. This has been How to Rock Astrology. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you think, if this related to you. And keep your eyes peeled for more fun stuff coming out in the world of How to Rock Astrology. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed.